Let's get right into it today. We're talking about the absolute truth when it comes to fat loss. What if the reason fat loss feels so confusing is because most people are trying to lose weight, not actually lose fat? Welcome back to Workout with Rain, where fitness is explained through science, not myths. Today, we're completely decoding fat loss so you can finally understand how to shed the body fat you don't want while keeping all that amazing muscle you do want. So let's start with a really common myth right out of the gate. A lot of us think, if I lose weight, I'm definitely losing fat, right? Yeah, it's so common, but not exactly. Weight loss and fat loss are actually two completely different things biologically. See, when you just lose weight, you could be losing water, stored carbs, or even just the volume of food digesting in your stomach. Or, worst case scenario, you could be losing muscle mass. Fat loss specifically means you're burning off stored body fat while keeping everything else completely intact. Most people don't realize this, but someone could lose weight super fast on a crash diet, yet they're mostly just losing precious water and muscle. On the flip side, you could be actively losing body fat while building muscle at the same time, and the scale might literally not budge. Like the quote says, the scale tells you your total body weight. It does not tell you what changed inside your body. That's exactly why your body composition matters so much more than that one tiny number. Okay. So if we want to zero in specifically on fat, why is everyone always talking about needing an energy deficit?
Right. Well, it all comes down to the basic science of energy balance. To actually lose fat, you have to give your body a real biological reason to tap into its stored fuel. An energy deficit just means you're creating a consistent, manageable gap between the energy you're taking in from food and the energy your body is using to just live and move around all day. It forces the body to say, hey, I need more fuel, let's grab it from our fat stores.
That sounds logical, but it's not the full story, is it? Just eating less sounds way too simple in reality.
You nailed it. It's not the whole picture. We always say calories are the math, but behavior is the reality. The math of energy balance absolutely dictates if you lose fat, but think about it. Your hormones, your sleep quality, how stressed you are at work, the quality of the food you eat, all of that heavily impacts how easy or ridiculously hard it is to actually maintain that deficit without feeling totally miserable.
Which totally brings up another massive myth I hear all the time. I need to eat almost nothing to lose fat. Sometimes it honestly feels like starving yourself is the only way to make the scale move. Oh, and that is such a dangerous trap to fall into. When you diet super aggressively and eat almost nothing, your body doesn't just happily burn off all your fat. It actually panics. It tries to conserve energy by triggering what's called metabolic adaptation. Basically, your body slows down its daily energy expenditure to protect itself from starving. That makes long-term fat loss incredibly difficult and totally unsustainable. Think of it like this. Extreme dieting is literally like sprinting at the very start of a marathon. Sure, it feels super powerful for the first mile, and you might see a really quick burst of results, but it completely ruins your training performance. You increase the risk of losing all that hard-earned muscle, and eventually you're gonna crash. It's just not repeatable. And actually, this connects perfectly back to our previous explainer on how muscles grow. The physiological adaptations you got from your previous strength training sessions, those are your secret weapon right now. Just having more muscle naturally increases your baseline metabolic rate. Plus, continuing to challenge those muscles while you're in a deficit preserves your lean mass. That ensures the weight you're dropping is actually pure fat, not your valuable muscle tissue. Okay, that makes perfect sense. But I really have to ask about cardio, because the most common advice you hear is cardio is the best way to get toned. Is that actually true? Cardio is an amazing tool for heart health for sure. And yeah, it absolutely helps increase your daily energy expenditure to help create that deficit. But cardio alone is not going to make you look toned. Strength training is absolutely essential here because it sends a really loud biological signal to your body saying, hey, we need to keep this muscle even when your calories are low. But here's the surprising part. If you only focus on cardio and losing weight, you might just become a smaller version of yourself. You won't necessarily look firmer or more defined. Fat loss simply reveals your shape, but muscle is what literally creates your shape. Those defined shoulders, strong legs, and firm glutes you're looking for, that is all muscle. So, how do we actually fuel this whole process without feeling like we're constantly starving?
That is exactly where protein steps in as your absolute best friend. During a fat loss phase, protein acts like a protective shield. It supports muscle retention, it speeds up your workout recovery, and honestly, it just keeps you feeling full so you can comfortably stick to your deficit. Protein is so incredibly crucial to this entire equation that we are literally giving it its own dedicated explainer next.
Section 1, Rapid Fire Myth Busting. Let's clear out some of these pervasive fitness lies. First up, the classic scale panic. If the scale goes up one morning, I totally failed and I definitely gained fat, right? The scale is not always telling the full story, especially for women. A one-day jump on the scale is almost never body fat. It's usually completely normal physiological fluctuations. We're talking water retention, changes across your menstrual cycle, maybe you just had a bit more salted dinner, stress, a bad night of sleep, or even just temporary muscle inflammation from a really hard workout yesterday. Okay, next myth. I see this one everywhere. Sweating heavily during a workout means my fat is literally just melting off. True or false? False. Oh, I love this one. Sweat is not fat crying, okay? Sweat is simply your body's biological cooling system kicking in to regulate your core temperature. You're just losing fluid, not melting body fat. You could sit in a blazing hot room and sweat buckets, but the minute you drink a glass of water, that scale weight comes right back. It's literally just hydration. That is so good to know. Okay, final myth for this round. Fat loss should be fast because let's be real, everyone wants results in like 2 weeks. And this is such a massive trap. Faster weight loss is rarely better. When you lose fat at a slower, steadier pace, it is actually a huge victory. Why? Because you are so much better equipped to preserve your lean muscle mass, keep your daily energy up, and most importantly, actually stick to the habits long term. Section 2, Sustainable Habits for Busy Moms. How do we actually apply this? Right, because all this science is absolutely amazing, but what about a busy mom? Someone juggling work, school drop-offs, family routines, and basically zero free time. How does she actually fit this into her real life?
That is exactly who we need to tailor this explainer for. If you are extremely strapped for time, you need a highly repeatable, super simple plan. Step 1, just focus on getting enough protein at your main meals. Step 2, strength train consistently, even if it's literally just 2 focused, brief 30-minute sessions a week. Step 3, get your daily steps in. Just find little ways to move more throughout your day. And step 4, prioritize your sleep whenever humanly possible and absolutely avoid extreme restriction.
This is where beginners often get confused. They think they need a perfectly optimized, grueling daily routine to see any results. But the truth is, the best plan is not the one that burns you out in 2 weeks. It's the one you can keep doing week after week, even when life gets totally chaotic. Consistency is always going to be random extreme intensity. That is so encouraging and really practical. Okay, to wrap up this explainer, let's quickly summarize the 3 most important takeaways from today. Number 1, fat loss and weight loss are not the same thing. Number 2, fat loss requires a sustainable energy deficit, not starvation. And number 3, strength training, protein, sleep, daily steps, and consistency are the tools that help you lose fat while keeping the beautiful shape and muscle you actually want. Remember, fitness isn't about following myths. It's about understanding your body through science. Thanks for watching Workout with Rain. If you enjoyed today's episode and want more evidence-based fitness content, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Workout with Rain, and let us know in the comments what topic you'd like us to cover next. We'll see you in the next episode.